Hi guys, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of a special reading vlog. So I am one of the few people on earth who have not read The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. So this week what I'm going to do is binge The Simple Wild, and then I have an e-copy of Wild at Heart that releases tomorrow on from my library, and I'm the first in line. So I'm hoping to get it tomorrow and read this and then go straight into Wild at Heart. So stay tuned. This is just going to be my thoughts. I'm not going to make it spoilery, and I'll try to do some updates as I go in this. It looks like it's pretty wide space and stuff, so I think this should go pretty quick. I've also heard such great things about it, so I'm hoping this will read really quick. I'll try to update as I go and let you know what I think, so stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Monday, March 2nd, and I was just going to give you an update on where I'm at in The Simple Wild. I'm on page like 100, 110, and so far I'm really not liking Calla. I don't know if that's like a popular opinion or not, but she's just very superficial and very constantly talking about how good she looks and like running in spandex stuff. Like, really, is that more comfortable? Because I don't think so. So I'm just not really liking her. I'm really liking Jonah, and I really like that kind of quiet, mysterious, but super sweet guy. So I'm really enjoying him. I'm hoping Calla will come around for me, because otherwise I'm not going to really care about their love story if I just don't like her. But hopefully she'll come around, and I'll enjoy her a little bit more. So that's the update for now, and we'll talk to you later. Hey guys, so it's just a little bit later and I'm not that much further in the book, but I just wanted to pop on and say Simon, her stepdad, reminds me so much of like Neil from the Santa Claus. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but that's totally who I'm picturing in the like therapist voice, a stepfather type thing. But I know she's got a really good relationship with him, but I can't help but like chuckle because I totally see her parents as Neil and whatever the mom's name is from the Santa Claus. So the mom I actually kind of like, which is weird because she's so superficial too, but I totally understand. My husband is from a farm, like a farm town of maybe 200 people or something, and I understand that, like, the mom's feelings in the beginning when they're talking about how like suffocated and anxious and depressed she was in Alaska, and just the like need for kind of like a metropolitan area. I totally get that, and so I think that's kind of softened to me to her despite her superficiality. So I wish that would just pass on to Kala or whatever her name is, because I'm just not loving her. But we'll see. There's a lot of book left, so hopefully there's some redemption for her. Hey guys, it's about 4:45 and we're just downstairs playing for a little bit, and I thought I'd get on an update because I read The Simple Wild all through nap time. So I'm gonna leave this as non-spoilers, so I'm not gonna say anything about the plot really, except that I just think Kala, I'm not even sure how to say her name, but she is reading to me as a very YA character, and she's 26, so she's not YA, but to me it feels like a YA story. She's 26, Jonah is 31, and to me it feels more like 16 and 22 or something. And I thought, I mean, it's still fun, it's cute. The banter between them is really fun. I can see the buildings of like an epic tearjerker between either her and Jonah, her and her dad. Like, there's just, we're really getting, because we're in this Alaskan town that is a small town with not very many people, the characters are close-knit, and we're getting to know a few characters really well, which is the kind of story that I really like. So I can see the potential for heartbreak, and so I'm like bracing myself for it. I think I'm like 2/3 of the way through, so I'm not sure. I'm reading it mostly on ebook and just partially physically, so I think I'm like 60, 65, 70%. So that's my update for now. As for life stuff, I'll just briefly talk about this morning we went over to my grandma's, and she had gotten a new Winnie the Pooh coloring book, so she's just the coloring book queen over there. She's got all the good stuff. So we colored and played, and then we went to Marshall's, and I got 2 pair of shorts and 1 pair of like sweatpants, because I'm trying to find things that are cheap and comfortable, because my first pregnancy, like, I wore jeans, like my normal jeans, the whole time. Partially because she was so high, and partially because it was my first pregnancy. Like I still had abs that like held things in a little bit. So now that everything's kind of gone to crap, I'm getting a lot bigger and a lot more typical pregnancy looking this time. And my clothes just aren't fitting good. And I'm also like gaining hips and stuff that I didn't have before. So I tried to get some shorts and some sweats and stuff that would just be comfortable like for around the house, but also like somewhat cute. And I'm taking one pair of the shorts back and the sweats. So it's kind of a swing and a miss, but I got one pair of shorts that fits nice and looks okay. So that's what we did this morning. Then we went to lunch with my husband, and then came home, played, colored for a little bit. I got myself a color by numbers. They're all sorts of different things, and I love it. I got that and some colored pencils, and so now I'm trying to color like my coloring book while my daughter colors hers, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So my coloring book has some crayon stripes through it, so whatever. But so that's what we did before nap. Then we took naps. I fell asleep. I'm a terrible napper, but I fell asleep for like 10 hard minutes, and that felt good. I'm just not feeling that great today. It happens to me a lot of times when we go to Olive Garden. I think the red onion kind of gives me heartburn and makes me feel crummy. And then also the croutons, I'm lactose intolerant, and I think they probably have something in them. So I try not to eat them, but they're still like, the dust is in the salads because my husband does eat them. So I just don't feel that good. So that's that. I hope to finish The Simple Wild tonight. And so if I do, I'll get on an update, or unless it's late and I'm in bed, then I'll just get on tomorrow morning. So far I'm really liking it. I think I would give it like 4 stars. Kala, the main character, is not my favorite. She's really immature, really superficial. She is growing and changing, but still, I just don't like her. Like, I mean, she's one of those girls who gets fully made up to go to the gym and stuff, and she talks about that, and she runs in spandex, and I just, like, come on, girlfriend, let's tone it down a little bit, and especially when you're in the Alaskan wilderness. But that's that. So I'll get on an update later. Bye. Hey guys, it's Tuesday at about 9:15, and I was just coming on to let you know that I finished The Simple Wild last night, and I think I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. My complaint is that I did not love Kala ever, really. She did a ton of character growth, but still, she just wasn't my favorite character. So, but I loved all the relationships in this book. The banter between her and Jonah was laugh out loud funny. The relationship between her and her father was so like heartbreaking because you could see his flaws and you could see his reasoning behind everything he did, and he was just a scared, hurt man. And the relationship between her parents was so good, and just how sometimes love isn't enough. And I just loved, like, here I am 12 hours or so after finishing it, and I can't stop thinking about the characters, the world. I just really am so ready to dive into the second one. So my thoughts about the second one. So I had said I was waiting for an e-copy from my library, and it came in today, and so I go to get it on my Kindle, and it's just an EPUB book. And I don't know what you can read that on, but it won't work on my phone, won't work on my computer, won't work on my Kindle or on my iPad. So I emailed the library and was like, hey, is there any way to get this on Kindle or physically or anything? And they're like, no, that's the only way we can get it. But it's on sale on Kindle right now on Amazon for $4.99. So I hate paying that much for an ebook. I really like to do like $3 or less, but whatever. I went ahead and bought it because I can't wait to read it. So I'm going to start that today. We've got mops this morning, and then lunch with my sister, and then grocery store, and then we are leaving for Kansas City. We're going to stay up there overnight because my daughter has an appointment early in the morning at Children's Mercy. So hopefully I'll get some good reading done on the drive up there. It's a little ways away, so we're hoping she'll nap and I'll read, and fingers crossed, actually. So I will update later once I have started that. I have so many more thoughts about The Simple Wild, but I don't have time to tell you about them, so I might also recap a little bit more later. So we'll talk to you then. Hey guys, so we made it to the hotel in Kansas City, and today has been a little crazy. So we went to Mops this morning. literally kicking and screaming. And then it was about 10 minutes in when I got the text that I needed to come get her. So today was kind of like a self-care mops day where the moms all had stuff like nail polish and that kind of stuff for us to just hang out and chat and do that kind of stuff. But it didn't quite go that way. So instead we had a little 2-year-old at our table, and we just hung out that way. So she wasn't the only kid today. There was one older and one younger, all that just kind of needed their moms today. So I don't know what the deal was, but after that we went, and like I said, we had lunch with my sister, then went to the grocery store, and then came home, and I packed, and then my husband got back from, he was out of town today for work, but then he got back in town, and so we got in the car, and the plan was that she would nap in the car, and so I could read and we could just have a quiet ride. And I don't know why I always think that's gonna happen, because it never does. So she slept literally 15 minutes. And so I am 8% of the way into The Simple Wild, and I'm liking it so far. I have heard some mixed reviews about it, but I have tried to like not really engage in the reviews because I just don't want to know anything about it. And this one picks up 3 months after the last one ends. So it's just Kala and Jonah's story. And like I said, I'm only 8% of the way through, so maybe 30 pages. I have it on ebook, so I'm not exactly sure. But so far, it's really good. I'm really liking their relationship. Nothing, I can't really say anything good or bad, but so far I'm ready to get in bed and start reading. So tonight we got to Kansas City about 5, and then went to, we're staying at the Crown Center, and if you don't know what that is, it's just like a big, it's kind of a shopping area, food. They have some events here a lot of times and exhibits and that kind of stuff. So we just walked around and saw what we could see, and then went to dinner, and we decided to treat ourselves and went to the Fogo de Chao salad bar. So that was delicious, and we are all very, very full. So now we're just coming back. My husband's gonna do bath time with my daughter, and then we're gonna crash. I've heard this place has a really good breakfast, so we're gonna try to get up and have a good breakfast. And then my daughter's first appointment's at 9. So I'm hoping to get some reading done tonight, but like I said, I'm so tired. I'm not sure how much I'll get done. Probably not a ton, but I will update tomorrow. Maybe the ride will go a little smoother. Not that it was terrible today. It was just no sleeping really. So maybe tomorrow I'll get some more reading done on the ride, but I will update regardless. We'll talk to you then. Hey guys, so it's about 8:30 on Wednesday morning. And last night and this morning, I did not get as much reading done as I expected, because we got like a pack and play crib for my daughter, and that didn't work out. So she ended up in bed with me, and so then I've got the book on my ebook, but so everything's backlit, so I couldn't really read much with her in bed. And then this morning, I was planning to get up at like 5:45. Like I typically do, and go work out while she and my husband were still sleeping, but she like had her arm around me like monster hold all night. So that didn't happen. So really I was kind of trapped in bed most of the night. So I read another like 40 pages or so, but not nearly as much as I wanted to. So the first little controversy or like blip has happened between Kala and Jonah. And it kind of showed a flaw in Jonah's character that I hope is not indicative of like their relationship to come, if that makes any sense. So he did something that was kind of out of character, and I didn't like it at all. It kind of seemed like something I've experienced before, and it just like is really aggravating, and I just hope that he doesn't continue to do things like that, or their relationship doesn't downgrade or spiral. But so far so good. They are just doing their thing. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil the first book. So that's what's going on. And now we're about to go to the doctor, and then that's it. So my daughter's got a test at 9, and then an appointment at 10:15. So we're hoping to be out of there by 11:15 at the latest, and then head home. So we'll see. We're all very tired because then this morning, instead of me getting up at 5:45 and going to do my thing and them sleeping till like 8, we all got up at like 6:15. So we are all tired and running kind of on fumes because between her like hand in my face and all that kind of stuff, and then my husband snores. So it was a lot. Anybody who co-sleeps, I like give you a shout out because I don't know how you do it with a child on you all the time. Like I don't know, I can't sleep, and she's a major like cuddler. She's on me. So that's it. I'm just rambling. So I'm hoping to get some reading done on the car trip home, but like I said, we're so tired that if I can pass out, I'll do that too. So we'll see. I'll update you later. Hey guys, so it's like 4:30 and I just finished working out, and so I was just gonna get on an update. We got home about 2 o'clock maybe, and I unpacked all of our stuff and then went and worked out, and now I just finished, and I read, like on our drive, I read until we got to lunch because we drove. My daughter fell asleep like right away since we got up so early this morning, so she fell asleep, so we just kept driving until she woke up, and then we stopped for lunch. And then I drove the rest of the way home. So I read, though, while she was sleeping, and I'm like 40% of the way through Wild at Heart, and I'm just not loving it. Like, I just watched, while I was working out, I watched YouTube, and I watched Jess from Peace Love Books, and she was reading it, and she was talking about how she was just, like, bored. Like, nothing's happening. It's just, like, the domestic tale of Jonah and Kala. And I mean, I'm just like, I'm 40-some% way of the way through and nothing's really happened. And I mean, it's not super emotional. They're kind of starting to have some bumps in the road. So whatever, this might just be a tale of like maybe a relationship gone bad. I don't know what's going to happen, but and we're getting a lot too of like other people in the town. Which is fine. It's just kind of introducing new characters, and it's just like it kind of is lacking focus for me. Like the first book was very much about her relationship with her dad and her relationship with Jonah and just kind of how it all related. This one is just like, I don't know what the point is. You know, like we're talking to some of the other people in the town. We're figuring out this new relationship with Jonah. Like 40%, and I'm still just like, what's the point here? So really kind of a bummer so far. I think it would probably be 3.5 stars just based on the fact that I do like the world and being back with these characters and being back in Alaska, and I like the setting, but I don't know if you can hear that. A motorcycle just drove by, but yeah, so that's that. Let's see, on the drive back, the second half of the drive when I was driving, it was really fun because I just turned on like a Spotify playlist, and my daughter and I had like a little sing along while my husband was working on his computer doing some work stuff. So it was so fun, and it's just, this morning, I don't know that I've updated since this morning, but she rocked her tests. She did so good. One was like a really weird thing where they had to like stimulate sweat in her arm and then put this like thing on her to collect her sweat because the chloride levels in her sweat will show you something. And so it was really weird. Like they said it shouldn't really hurt or be too uncomfortable, but it was just weird, and she did really good. But then we got the results and they couldn't be read because she didn't sweat enough. So whatever. So now the doctors are saying like, whatever, we're not really even worried about that test. And that test took an hour. So we're like, then why did we do it in the first place? But whatever, we did it. It's done. We're home. As far as we know, she is good and healthy. All the blood tests came back good. So she's just got some digestive issues, and so do I. I'm diagnosed with IBS, which is kind of just a catch-all for, we don't really know why you have digestive issues, but you do. And it looks like it's kind of going to be the same for her. Just, we don't know why you have these issues, but you do. Probably a genetic gift from mama. So that's that. So I'm gonna quit rambling. And we've got like, today we're just doing sandwiches for dinner. So I think I am gonna try to go downstairs and read for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I'll start making dinner, and then hopefully get a little more reading done after dinner. I have so much, like there's laundry in the dryer that needs to be folded. There's like still boxes that need to be unloaded. There's so much to do, and I just have zippola motivation to do any of it. So tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow I'm going to try, there's this thing called Stroller Strong Moms, I think is what it's called. And it's a group, it's like a workout group or a workout class or whatever, where you can bring your kids and like you can incorporate your kids or your strollers or whatever you have. And it's it's an hour-long workout class. And a few of my friends go to it, and I'm really wanting to go, and I guess they're good about accommodating for pregnancy and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like this pregnancy especially, I've gotten so, like with my daughter when I was pregnant, I still lifted like a lot and worked out, like did cardio every day. And now I'm doing cardio and like my lifting is just her, I guess. And even that's not really, and like I'm starting to feel like I have to like roll off the couch just because I have like no ab strength. And I just feel like I would feel better if I did some strength training. So I am going to try to go to that tomorrow. This week they're doing all free classes, so that's really cool because you can try it for free. And so it's at 9:30, which is kind of a push for us to get there and be presentable by 9:30. And I also am like not really sure how to, like I work out every morning, but in our basement where like I'm the only one that sees me, so it doesn't really matter how ridiculous I look. So I'm not really sure how to dress this body for like public working out because you got to make sure nothing falls anywhere. And so I'm going to try to do that, and I'm meeting a friend there, so hopefully that will be an accountability thing and we'll get there no matter how inconvenient it is or how much I don't feel like it in the morning. So that's what we're going to do, I hope. And then I will report back, probably not till the morning, because I really just want to focus on reading tonight. I know I won't finish it, so I just want to focus on getting as much done as I can. And then unless anything like earth-shattering happens in it where my opinion drastically changes, otherwise I'll just get on and update you in the morning. So we'll talk then. Bye. Hey guys, so we have had kind of a crazy day, but today is Thursday. It's noon o'clock is what I almost just said. It's noon, and so this morning we went to that Stroller Strong Moms group, and that's a national thing, I think. So if you're in the United States, like Google it and see if it's in your area, because it was so fun. It was really, really cool. I had a friend that met me there, and it was really fun because the kids, they didn't get to be quite as involved as I would have thought. Like they're mostly supposed to stay in their strollers, but the girl that leads it here at least was really cool. And she was like, if they are fighting it and need to get out, they need to get out. Just make sure they're not in anybody's way or whatever. And it was actually like a really good workout. It was, I mean, lots of burpees and a good mix of cardio and weightlifting, and she was really nice and accommodating for pregnancy. There were 2 other pregnant ladies in our group, so it was just so fun. So we did that, and then we went to story time at the library. Well, we got home from Kansas City last night and my gas light came on, and I didn't go get gas because I had to get home because I was selling something, so somebody was coming to get it, and la-di-da-di-da, I completely spaced. So this morning my gas light was still on. So we made it on fumes over to this workout class, and then we went and got gas, and then we went to story time, and then now we just ran home because I was selling something else. So met somebody there to pick that up, then came and dropped a couple books at the little free library because one of my sweet friends gave me a whole box of kids books, and also some like magnetic letters and stuff, just this whole box of stuff. But in there was like a couple books about learning how to draw, and it was for kids, but it was more complicated. Like it'll be like maybe a middle school project, and so I don't need to hold on to them for that long. So I put them in the little free library. Hopefully somebody else will get to enjoy them. And that's that. We're about to go pick up my grandma. I didn't get anything from the little free library because it is beautiful. It's like 60 degrees, but like blow you over wind. So it's very, very windy, and we're going to get my grandma right now. We're actually a few minutes late. So we're going to go pick her up, take her to lunch, and then hopefully, I think I might have talked on this vlog or another vlog about going to Marshall's and getting some like shorts and stuff that would be a little cuter on this pregnant body and how most of them struck out. So we're going to take those back to Marshall's because it's right by where we're going for lunch. And then go home. My grandma has not seen our new house, I don't think, at all. So I think she may or may not come over depending on how much time we have before nap time. Then we'll do nap, and then that's the day, really. So my husband, his company has a national conference every year in April, but then they have like regional conferences, and ours, the region, our region or whatever, bounces back and forth between my town and I think Dallas. And so they go every other year, and this year it's here in town, and so he is at that all day. And then tonight is like the big banquet. But it was very last minute planning of like if he was going to even go or not. And then with us being in Kansas City yesterday, he didn't go yesterday or Tuesday. So, it's like a week-long conference. So he's going today to all the stuff. And then, I think might maybe go to the banquet after bedtime because it starts at 7:30. So then he can go about 8 or 8:15, and I'll just stay home. Because they're not what you would call fun banquets. So it's okay if you're like traveling at the national one and go, and that's part of the package, but it's not like, hey, we've got nothing to do Thursday night, let's go to this banquet. So I'm not gonna go. He's gonna go after bedtime, I think. And that's the rest of the day. So as for reading, which is the whole reason you're here, and I've been talking for 4 minutes and have not said anything, I'm like 85% of the way through this Wild at Heart. I almost finished it last night, but I just couldn't. So I'm like hating it. I mean, honestly, it's going to be a 3-star read probably for me because the writing style is still good. I do like the world and the characters, like being back with them. But as far as the storyline goes, I think like this is the exact story I did not want to read. This, if I would have put some thought into it and not been doing this vlog for a purpose, I would have probably not read this because I kind of sensed this was coming, and it's not enjoyable to read. The things that are happening is not very much, and they're not pleasant to read about, and I'm just not liking it. So I'm like 80%, like I said. Writing style is still good. There's still some good things going for it that I would say 3 stars. But if you read The Simple Wild, this is almost like Kristen Hanna's Firefly Lane. I felt like that book was so good. And then Fly Away Home, the second part in that duology, ruined it. And I almost feel like that's happening for this. Like Simple Wild, so good, so emotionally charged, whatever, all this stuff happens. And then this one is just boring and like without the good emotional stuff, it's just depressing and bad. So I don't know, I'm not liking it. I will update whenever I actually finish it. It'll probably be during nap time today, so I'll update sometime later. And I guess that'll be the end of this vlog. So I will get back on later and let you know my final thoughts, and that's it. Bye. So I'm in my room. It's like almost 5 o'clock, and my daughter's on hour 3 of nap. Like I put her down about 2 and she's still sleeping. So I managed to finish The Simple Wild, and I am giving it 3 stars. I'm so disappointed by this book, honestly. I think I would have preferred probably to read just The Simple Wild and leave it as a standalone, because this book disappointed me for a lot of reasons. But first I'm going to say the things I liked. I liked the relationship between Calla and Roy. I thought that was really sweet. I like the curmudgeon old guy. That was a sweet story. I don't know how realistic it was, but it was cute. And then I like the way that Calla and Jonah, like, they did compromise quite a few times. And it wasn't exactly like from the get-go that they just automatically compromised. Like, it was a really real way of working through things where they were kind of childish at first and then they compromised. I liked the writing style, and like I have said, I liked being back in the world with the characters, and I thought it had a lot of potential. But just kind of, I feel like without the emotionally charged aspect of her dad in the first one, we're just left with boring. Like, it was just kind of, it was too much of just like boring real life, kind of in a marriage or a relationship that's kind of rocky. And I think there were a lot of things that Jonah did in this one that felt out of character. And like after reading the first one, I thought Jonah was a super sweet, funny guy that was kind of quiet on the outside and sweet and goofy on the inside. But after this one, I'm kind of like, he's kind of a manipulative jerk. And I mean, I still like him, I guess, but like some of the things he did, like starting from like 25% in, I think, is when he first does something kind of manipulative and sneaky. And like, that's not the Jonah I thought that we had in The Simple Wild. So I really just didn't like that. And then I feel like by the end of the book, Calla is like a 180 from where she started, whereas Jonah's like pretty much the same. Like, and so I just felt like it was just not great. You know, it was kind of depressing, kind of slow. And in the end, there's a big, like, plot device, plot twist, call it what you will, that was used in the first book. And so it's like, okay, yeah, but it's kind of like there's got to be something else besides this huge defining moment. So overall, like I said, 3 stars. I just wrote my review on Goodreads, and so if you want to hear more of my thoughts, I always link my Goodreads down below, and so you can go read that there. I'm going to look at it and see if there's anything else that I wanted to say. I really don't think so, but yeah, overall, just okay. So I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I'm in the know. So like I know this book is going to be talked about a lot, and it currently is being talked about a lot. So I'm glad I read it because I want to know. Like I looked on Goodreads, and some of my friends are giving it 5 stars, some are giving it 1 or 2. So I'm glad I know. And for me, it's just middle of the road. I'm really disappointed because of the potential I thought it had, and because of how much I enjoyed the first one. But as a story of itself, it was okay. Good writing style, good atmosphere, some good relationships, some good examples of compromise. Just not the character that I wanted to see in Jonah. And I didn't go into it wanting to read like a story about a struggling couple. Like it's just not it wasn't great. So that's my thoughts. I'm gonna wrap this vlog up. Thank you for watching. If you've read either of these books, let me know. I tried to remain as non-spoilery excuse me, as possible. So if you haven't read Wild at Heart, let me know if you're planning on it. So that's it. So thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. It's Thursday night, so whoop whoop. Almost TGI. It's Friday Eve, so it counts. So we'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.